Hello, BookTube. This is the Scholar Gentleman doing my latest book report. I'm here down in the Zero Room, which looks more like a librarian's hoarder paradise every day that I'm here. I'm even embarrassed to swoop the camera around, so we'll just put it that way. Anyway, the latest book I'm doing, is this recording? Yes, it is. I'm doing David Ashton's Fall from Grace, Book 2 of the Inspector McLevy series. It's based on a series of audio dramatizations done around the turn of this century, but we'll get to that in a minute. This one involves the great train crash of the Fourth Rail Bridge in the late 1800s. And it involves the bridge planner. It involves an insurance adjuster who his underling, I guess his partner, Mr. Inspector Mulholland, is falling in love with. And thing about an Inspector McLevy book, there's always one or two mysteries going on within the book itself. And when the mystery is solved, the book doesn't end. It takes its time to set the stage maybe for the next book and to basically progress these people's lives. And very much in Inspector McLevy's books, there's very much a dance going on between him and the head of the bawdy house, a bordello, called the Just Land, Jean Brash. And she works on the other side of the law, but she's known to do good deeds from time to time if it suits her. And Inspector McLevy, born on the wrong, basically born and raised on the wrong side of the tracks in Leith, Scotland, wants to see justice done. But if he bends the rule of law a little bit to get it done, then he'll do it. He'll do it moral and ethical gray line. So between him and Jean Brash, they're doing this little two-step back and forth over the line of the law. And he's obsessed with getting the goods on her and throwing her in jail once and for all, and she's obsessed with not doing that. So it's kind of it's a very, very odd tension and partnership that they have, which fuels pretty much every story I've read thus far of the Inspector McLevy series. This one involves a old childhood bully of his that was sort of kind of involved in the train wreck or in the construction of it. So basically, McLevy. Meanwhile, Jean Brash is having a romance going on, but she doesn't know she's being played, and she's a pretty consummate con artist herself, so she's not aware that she's being played. So all these plot lines just kind of intermingle in this book, and it was a really, really great read. Thing is, because of this, I discovered the Inspector McLevy audio series, which, like I said, they started airing around 2001 or so. Stars the great Brian Cox, and if you don't know Brian Cox, the thing he's really known for right now recently is Succession, the dad in Succession. I want to see it eventually because I think he's a fine actor. He was also the very first in Hannibal Lecter in Manhunter way back in the 80s. And he's been in Rob Roy. He's been in Deadwood. He's been in the second X-Men. It was a X-Men unit. The second X-Men movie is Inspector General Stryker, with a very convincing Southern accent. But yeah, he's a consummate actor. Read his book if you have a chance. He's done an autobiographical book on his career in stage and screen. Excellent read. Comes across as a very nice guy. But he's Scottish, so of course he's going to be a nice guy. I'm biased that way. But anyway, I started listening to these audio dramatizations, and they're also created by David Ashton. And what I find is I find elements of these stories in these audio dramas that show up in the books. He cuts and pastes different storylines together to form a complete novel. So he, basically borrows from himself. So if you basically want to say, well, which version of Inspector McLevy is quote unquote canon or real? Well, thanks to the multiverse, you can have the audio dramatization timeline, which is real over there, and you can have the novel timeline, another parallel universe, which is real over here. The events unravel similarly, they unfold similarly, but they don't go exactly the same way. And I'll tell you this thing I like about these books and the um, audio dramas, is that they're really, really keen with the Scots dialect. And the Scots have different dialect depending on where you are in the country, but there's lots of broad Scots words that they throw in there that if you don't already know them, you're going to be reaching for a dictionary. Luckily, not to sound like a snob, I know most of them. So, like, you big fearty, you big scaredy cat, fearty. I love that. Just it is a different language, but it's one you can kind of understand. Because make no mistake, I mean, Broad Scots is Broad Scots. It just happens to share similarities with English, and a lot of times Scottish people will like play down the Scottishness so that you you can understand them. But luckily, the friends I have are they're more than happy to lapse into Broad Scots when they're typing messages to me online and whatnot. Besides, I much prefer that because everything can't sound like it's from Hollywood, can it? So if you haven't started Inspector McLevy Mysteries, go ahead. Apparently, there's like 9 books in this series. I had these as ebooks, but I liked them so much, I decided to just get physical copies of them. I've got the next 2 coming in the mail to add to this mess that you see around you. Added to my Tartan Noir collection, which I have in a box behind me, between Laidlaw, the granddaddy of Tartan Noir, and Inspector Rebus. And there's a whole bunch more, and I doubt I'll ever have time to read them all. But every time I want to go to Scotland, I'll just can pick up a Tartan Noir book or that kind of thing. Anyway, that's all I have to say for now. Take care. All the best. Cheers.